On. Boom. Krista, welcome back. Part 3 of 3 to the podcast.
Hi, Dwayne. Thanks for having me today.
Absolutely.
Back again.
Yes. So we've had 2 awesome episodes. The first one was, I think, setting the stage for the problem, right? Of digital marketing and what you need to consider. And that was informative. Yesterday's, which will be last week's for the listeners, was kind of going through that process, the basics of the different areas. And wow, I learned a ton yesterday on that. And today is going to be return on your investment for digital marketing. So I'll let you lead us into that.
Sure. I have an example I wanted to share with you because I think it's very interesting and it touches on all of the basics that we discussed yesterday.
Okay.
The SEO, the website, the content, the social media or the promotion strategies, and then the CRM. And so it's an interesting little example, and it's something that happened on my company website. Okay. So back in 2014, I wrote an article about, I wanted to show people an example of what a digital marketing plan would look like. Because in the sales process, I'm trying to sell these things and people are confused. What do you do? What does the plan look like? So I wanted to create an example. So I did a blog article back in 2014. And it just hung out there, got maybe like 100 views a month or something like that. And then I would update it every once in a while just to make sure it was aligned with what our services are. And so about a year ago or so, I updated it again because it was one of our most popular blogs. So I put a video on and I did an infographic and a table and a lot of content. So it's a very fleshed out concept of an example of a digital marketing plan. And then all of a sudden, my traffic just started to shoot up really high. So now it drives 68% of all my entire company website traffic, this one blog article. But see, I wrote it back in 2014 and now it's 2021. That's 7 years.
Yeah.
So what I just really want to tell people is that the content you create today may not get you results today. But if you play your cards right, it could really add value in the long term to your company for years to come. So it's just important to know that, I think. So the benefits that I got from that I'm currently getting from this article are, one, it's optimized for SEO. So if you look up, I think it's digital marketing plan example on Google, will show up like I think the first or one of the first results for those terms. So I'm optimized for search engines. It's on my website, right? And it's optimized for users because I have all the different types of content on there for any type of learner. And it's fully fleshed out with a lot of information. So it's on the website, it's optimized for users. It's relevant to my audience, a topic that they desperately want to know more about. And then we continue to promote it on social media. We haven't done an ad for it or anything like that. So right now we're just doing social media, but you could do more. And then in the article, now we're getting back to the lead generation and the CRM. On the article, there's a call to action. See, and it takes the user to a page that talks about, we do sales and marketing plans. They're looking up an example plan. What does a plan look like? And at the end of the article, they can go and actually request us to help them do their own plan. And so we get a lot of clicks from that article to that landing page on our website. They fill it out. Now they become a lead into our CRM and we can call and try to sell them. So that's an example of how it all comes for full circle.
Loops right back in. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah. So, our podcast is young, right? We're a year and 3 months old, right? And it's kind of funny. I've seen, I just today, we're recording this on the day I posted our top 10 most listened to episodes. And some of the ones on there, at the time they were released weren't even close to top 10. And then all of a sudden something happened where like they would double, right? Like people would be like, oh, I want to listen to this episode, so we kind of do see that. Now we haven't done anything with search engine optimization yet, which is something that, we are definitely thinking of actually doing I think it almost printing out the scripts, right? Like not the scripts that we talked about, but like the recording in Word version.
Yeah, absolutely.
And putting that up there for SEO. But that's really cool to know, because I think that's something, and this is just, for people to learn from, because it's our own example, is something we were worried about at first was, well, should we hold back some of the content we have and release it a little slower? Is it too much at one time? And, we talked to a lot of people and it was like, no, get it out there. Because people can always come back and find it, and you can always re-promote it on social media, whatever it is. So, that's really awesome advice. And that's really cool to see that case study. And it's your own case study from someone who specializes in this. So awesome. So I'll keep going on this. I guess is there, what can we take? What else can we take from that? Right. So I see the closed loop, you're building it into your CRM, you're capturing these leads. Let's keep building on that.
Sure. So when you look at why do I want to spend time doing all these things, I give you some examples of results that we've gotten for our clients. 39.6% increase in website traffic in 4 months. So would you like to increase your traffic by 40 or 50% in the next quarter? Would that add value to your company if you had more people coming to your website?
Of course. Right.
This other company, we did 122% increase in 6 months.
Yeah.
So if you're getting 1,500 visitors a month now, would it add value to your company to get 3,000 in 6 months? Regarding so that the results that you get regarding traffic increase, what I've discovered is really simply activity based. So as long as you're doing SEO, that's the main thing, and then creating good content and putting it out there, you will absolutely get more traffic no matter what.
Okay. So you're taking the steps we talked about in the first part of this 3-part series. You're taking the basics that you discussed. Obviously there's more to it in episode 2, and that's what's driving these results that you're getting for your clients that we're talking about right now, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. We do the full thing. We do the SEO, the website, the content, and the promotion, and then aligning it with the CRM and the salespeople. So when we do that, we put out good content that drives traffic to the website. And then it was saying like 40% increase in some short months, or 100% increase in less than a year, in 6 months. And then we get new contacts too, because if you play your cards right and have the right content and the right website lead generation strategy, this one company, we got 271% increase in the number of contacts visiting their website every month within 6 months. So like the first month it was like whatever, 5. And then by the end of 6 months, they had like 30 or 40 leads coming in. So that was kind of good. And the other one, in 1 month, we had 170% increase. And I apologize for the crying baby.
You do not have to apologize on this podcast. I think listeners have heard on multiple episodes my daughter crying, screaming in the background. So it's not a problem. Yep. Yeah.
I think she's gone now. She's heading upstairs. But yeah, so 170%. So 1 month, we had like 10, and then we did a campaign, right? And we ended up getting however many, 30 or 40 leads from that campaign.
Yeah.
And then one of my clients this year was super exciting. We've been with them for 2 years. And so this year we set a goal, and they met that sales goal within 6 months.
Wow.
I know. I was like, wow, that's so cool. Within 6 months, you met your yearly sales goal.
Yeah. Okay. So we've talked about the ROI here, right? It's you just pulled it in with the last one, right? Because traffic's one thing, but sales is that number, right? I mean, that's the number you want to see go up. So we've identified the problem, right? So you're not sure on, you know, the investment in digital marketing.
Mhm.
Um, the why you care is leaving money on the table, right? So you're
Mhm.
missing opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've defined how to fix it.
Mhm.
Um, so the when, what, why now, right? I mean, why does a company that's always going to be? I think we've done a good job of explaining um, the ROI, how to do it, why you do it, but when do you do it and why do you do it now?
Yeah, that's a good question because, companies are all at different levels and different budgets and they have different skills and different resources.
Right.
So how do what to put your money into and when? I think that the first thing that you should do is a plan and you
Hmm.
map it out. Well, this year we're going to focus on these elements next, in the next 3, 6, 9, 12 months. These are the milestones that we want to meet. But really, I don't know. I just feel like if you have a business, whether this is a startup and you have a $10,000 worth of sales or 100,000 or a million or 10 million, you have to think about your website and what's on it and your digital presence, because that's the very first place anyone's ever going to know anything about you. They're not going to come drive past your building. Not,
Especially in MedTech, right?
I know, in MedTech, the only place they're ever going to find you is your website. The only place, if the salesperson calls someone up on the phone and they get a meeting, they're going to go to your website. It's your building, it's your office, it's your company.
Hmm.
So I tell people you should treat it the same as you would an office building. You wouldn't invite someone to come to your office building and have like chairs with ripped upholstery and like carpet with stains all over
Right.
and dirty kitchen, because it would make you look bad and people
Yeah.
won't want to work with you then.
Yeah.
So when I think it's now. And as far as the amount of work you can do, that's based on your budget. So
Okay.
maybe you can't do a daily blog. That's
Right.
extreme. Maybe you can't even do a weekly blog, but maybe you could do every other week or even just one a month,
Right.
just something to get started. So once you get started, you'll see that it's easier and it all flows
Yeah.
together well.
I think that's beneficial for people to hear, right? I think, and it's something that we talk about in med tech as well. It's not all or nothing, right? I mean, you can make a plan, go through the steps, do the audit, and then you don't have to spend
No,
$200,000
no.
on digital marketing. You can
Mm-mm.
say, hey, the first quarter we could bite off this, right? And the
Mhm.
second quarter we can do this, and if things go well, then the third quarter we're gonna maybe double it, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you can kind of work through this and make a custom built program for you, right? I mean, we've talked in the past as well, and that was something that for me, I thought was beneficial for Project MedTech was, it's as much or as little as you want to do, but you could take baby steps if you need to, and that's okay as long as you're moving in the right direction, right? So I think that's important for companies that are listening. I mean, there's going to be some that are going to have, more capital to spend and be ready to run with it more because they're in a different boat. But for companies who are maybe pre-market or just about to commercialize and they want to start taking these steps, it's good to have this plan in place, right? I mean, we used to have this, my old boss Tim Mitchell from NAMSA used to have this saying. Actually, are you from Grand Rapids? Is that where you are? No, dang.
No,
Okay.
I'm from Saginaw,
Okay.
Michigan.
Right. He's in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Okay.
Anyways, so he used to say, if you don't have a plan, it's hard to run the race, right? So like if you don't have the course map, it's hard to run the race. And that's what you're doing.
Absolutely.
You're developing this course map of where you want to go. It's just how you get there might be different,
Right.
right?
I want to share one quick story about a prospect I talked to yesterday. It was so interesting and it just shows the value of why you need to think about all of these elements and not just one. So she ended up doing a video, some things went viral on social media. And so now she's got a huge following on social media. and she hired this company, and she does training. And so they take her so she'll go out and do a training video, right? She'll go to a client, do a speaking engagement or some kind of training, record it and give it to the social media company, and they'll create social media posts. And they're doing a great job. Tons of followers, really good things with the videos they're doing for social media, but they're not linking back to her website. They're not putting that content on her website. So she's getting a lot of followers on social media and even clients from it, which is cool. But there's a lot of missed opportunities because it's just one small piece that's not being tied back
Right.
to all the other pieces. And that's what we were talking about yesterday. And her eyes just kind of lit up, was like, oh my gosh, I have so much more value to what I already have here. With just a little bit more investment, I could increase, dramatically the results.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's why you got to think about all the things. Don't just do social media. Don't just do SEO. Look at it as a whole so that you can make sure that you're maximizing your efforts.
Yeah. No, super helpful. Boy, like I said, it's like just keep learning so much about this world. That's so important that a lot of people probably know some about, but not all of it, right? So no, I really appreciate this. Is there anything else in relation to ROI that we've missed here?
I'm sure there is, but those are the main things I just wanted to cover at a high level with everybody today and make sure they can see how does it all come full circle, and don't just do one teeny tiny piece, look at the whole picture. And you can definitely, we do for websites, it's called growth driven website design, where the whole goal is to focus on continuous improvement.
Okay.
So not having to redo all the website and launch it in 6 months. It's like, let's work on this page this month, this page the next month, based on your budget. And that's what you need to do with your marketing too, but make sure it's all tied together.
Okay. So to summarize our 3-part series in 30 seconds, do the audit, develop the plan, execute the plan.
Pretty much.
Good. I'm a man of simplicity.
Yes.
Great. Okay. Easy enough. So we haven't talked about it in every episode so far. Krista's LinkedIn page, Ascend website will be linked in the show notes as well. So you're active on LinkedIn, correct? So people can reach out there or go to the website. Absolutely. Either one, they'll both be linked in the show notes. So feel free to reach out to Krista. In closing, Krista, do you have anything else?
I've really enjoyed our time we're talking with you about this. Thank you so much for inviting me to come on and share all this information. I'm excited to get that out, and I hope it adds value to people's day. So thank you for the opportunity. Yeah,
absolutely. And I know we were introduced by a common connection, and I can't think about who that was now at this time. But I'm so glad we were, because we haven't really covered this yet. Right. So, but it's something that really feeds into the importance of commercialization for a medical device company. We set the stage in the first episode. We'll kind of conclude with this again. Commercialization is harder than people think. Selling your product is harder than people think. So you got to have everything working for you, and your digital presence is absolutely huge. I mean, you still need boots on the ground, if you will, or people going out there and really, spreading the word. But it's much easier for a business development or a salesperson when your digital presence, your social media presence is just so strong, and you're able to link all of that, back and say, hey, I just got done having a meeting with so-and-so. They're the head of this hospital. They're thinking about buying our product. And then when you leave that door, they're, clicking on, they have that marketing material. They're going to the website. They're doing all these things, and it's leaving it's the whole process. Right. Really so, Krista, I really appreciate it. Again, hang on for a minute.
Okay.
And thank you so much for your time on this 3-part series.
All right. Thank you. We'll see you later.
Yep.